live. Do the thing. Are we? Is it working? I hope. Hello. We're live. I'm here. So hey everybody. I'm Amanda Call. This is the same comic page I've been working on for several weeks. We should finish it up tonight. That's the plan. This is I Am the First, Chapter 2, Page 3. We have it all drawn. We have all of the nib inking done in the background. And now I'm going to ink the figures and whatever last minute little details and bits I need to do with the brush. So I'm going to be using my Winsor Newton Series 7 brush. And I already opened it. That was foolish. India ink. I can't show you the bottle because then I would spill ink all over my page. And that would be quite bad. All right, so I'm going to load up my brush. Got a little piece of scrap paper off to the side here where I kind of hone the tip down after I load it up, just to make sure it's not too fat and overloaded. Hey, Hungry, thanks for joining me. And then we'll start. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. I've been trying very hard to focus and get things done today, but I've been extremely distracted because the funding campaign for this comic is ending tomorrow at like noontime, and so I'm just like watching the last 24 hours of it like, it's not like there's much I can really do to change the course of how it's going at this point. I'm just kind of staring at it. It has gone really well, like way better than I expected. And it's a lot. It's overwhelming. It's like, oh my goodness, all these people are helping to make this comic happen, and now I have to do it, and I can't screw it up. Tip is feeling like it's not quite as fine as I want it. Just going to hone it down a little bit more off to the side there. Go in and do some of these details. So since this is going to be colored, I don't approach the inking in the same way as I do on my black and white comics. I really don't add anywhere near as much shading in the inking phase, and I certainly don't really do the textures or anything that I would normally do, because they're just kind of going to get swallowed up by the colors. You won't really get to see them, so it's really just a waste of effort. It's the sort of thing that works really well in black and white comics and just doesn't translate well for color. I'll add in a few little... Hey Keith, thanks for joining me. I'll add in a few little places where there's a little bit of shading, just because with the shadows and colors that I'm going to have on here, it will help to push a little bit of the depth in some of those spots, but it doesn't have to fully, the inking doesn't have to fully carry that illusion the way that it does in a black and white comic. So you approach it a little differently. I very quietly concentrate on trying not to mess up his face. Hey, Barney, thanks for joining me. It's like, if I get quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. But by all means, if you have comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. It might take me a second to lift my head up and look at them, but I will. I will eventually. And then I will do my best to respond. Weird spot of something on there. All right, so this is the same page. It's not a repeat. Comics take a long time. But we should be finishing it now. This should be the end. I'm going to go back and add in the plaid pattern with the nib pen once I'm done doing the brush inking. So we should be able to loop back around to that before the hour is out. All right, now we're working on this guy. This guy. What really makes it start to feel like it's on a repeat is when I've been spending hours drawing it, inking it, and then I have to color it, and I'm just like, is this page ever gonna be done? His greasy hair in here. It's supposed to look kind of unkempt, kind of greasy. Hey, thanks, Keith. Yeah, going pretty well. I'm, like I said, I'm a little bit just anxious, waiting for the Kickstarter campaign to end. Not it's been going really well, but now we're just in that home stretch where I'm just like, okay, where's it going to end up? And just kind of watching and waiting for it to take over to be done so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. At this point, it's not going to change anything that I need to do or anything like that, but it's just it still preoccupies you. And I've been part of a lot of different teams that were funded through, their projects were funded through Kickstarters, but I've never been in charge of helping to manage one where the team was literally just me and one other person. There was always a bunch of other people that had to deal with all the business stuff, and they just said, hey, Amanda, draw this. it wasn't like just a creative partnership wherein I was an equal partner in charge of that. So it's a different level of like stress and preoccupation with it then. That's a nice greasy hair we got going there. Looking nice and greasy. What a glare. And he's got a mustache. Some kind of hand holding on to that there. Oh. Yeah. No, it's going pretty good. This page is almost done. We should be able to finish this up tonight. And I'm thinking like the plan is, since I'm gonna still be working on Age of Night as well, is that I'll probably alternate between doing Age of Night pages and doing I Am the First pages on the stream. Like I'm always gonna have a bunch of them to work on. And so it'll just be like a, hey, this week this month basically, since the pages I do on stream usually take around a month. This month I'll do an Age of Night page, and this month I'll do an I Am the First page, and just kind of bounce back and forth that way for a while, since this is not going to be done for a while. I had a friend who was telling me about a comic convention in Maryland and near where he lives in March, and he's like, you should come down to this comic convention. I'm like, yeah, I'll check it out. That might be cool. And he's like, and if I Am the First is done by then, you could promote it there. And I'm like, oh no, sir, no, it will not be done by then. He's like, I don't know how this works. It's all the way in like March. You'll be fine. I'm like, no. No, the whole thing is gonna be like over 100 pages of graphic novel. I'm not gonna be done by March. like the first chapter will be released by then, and I don't remember what our exact release schedule is, but maybe the second chapter, maybe it'll be close to re-releasing it then. I forget. Some of it will be done, not the whole thing. Because comics take a long time. It's got like one of those bomber style jackets. Yeah. Well, we're not quite doing monthly, but yeah, I can't even imagine either, like, how relentless that is. Doing something like Age of Night where it's like I have to produce a page a week, entirely manageable. Even though it's just me. But trying to do like an entire book in a month is just like completely crazy. So unrelenting. Just like you have no wiggle room to ever just like have an off week. have life get in the way for any amount of time without completely messing everything up. I gotta get those. I'm trying to find a good angle to do this in. Sorry if I'm whipping the page around. So I'm the First is going to be releasing like bi-monthly, but we're also not planning to start that bi-monthly release until we already have a couple of them finished, so that it's not like right on top of us. Oh, I missed a line in the background back here. This is supposed to be part of that chair back there. So just add a very thin line. Okay. Okay, so the top tier is now done. Now I'm down here. Middle tier, which is just one panel. Making progress. Can get very quiet when I'm concentrating on not messing up teeny tiny little faces. Oh, to add a shadow there. You're getting your TikTok started. Oh, is it happening? Is it really happening? For anyone who is unfamiliar, just about every week, Barney comes on here and asks me what my TikTok is. Barney being story comic account here in the comments, whose show you should go and watch. He does really great interviews with other comic creators and similar storyteller type creatives. He keeps on asking me what my TikTok is when I list off my different social accounts that you can follow me on, and I keep telling him I don't have TikTok. And I recently escalated it to, I'll get one when you get one. And that standoff has been lingering for a little while. So I don't know, it might be happening. I will keep my word. If you actually get one, I will too. But you need to get one first. All right. I think I'm going to add a couple little strands of texture to Alex's hair here. So it's not like this helmet. It's just white blob. Soon. I feel like this needs to be like the like cow meme. It's just a cow staring at the camera and says soon. There we go. Your TikTok handle better not be my name, you dork. I'll have you know, there are 12 other Amanda Calls in America. I checked. They're going to be mad if you did that. Why is this guy one of us? You can go on the Social Security Administration's website and find out how many people have your name. There are 12 other Amanda Calls in America last time I checked, which was not that long ago. Amanda's not really popular for like babies at this point, so I don't imagine there will be any more for a while. Until it loops back around to being on trend. And one of them, we friended each other on Facebook and found out we have the same birthday too, which is very weird. But good to know that it exists in case either of us ever has any kind of like issue of like mistaken identity. Oh no, that must be the other Amanda Call with my same birthday. Alright, time to concentrate on the face again. And all the messy, greasy hair. Most I've come to finding someone with the same name as me is that kid in Stranger Things. Oh yeah. We're talking about the one kid with the very very intense, doesn't seem like a real name. Alright, ta-da! Middle tier. Done. Bottom tier. We're only about halfway through the hour. We should be able to do this just fine. We should be able to get this done. Feels like I'm going to need more ink, though. That's getting a little dry brushy. Is that the drawing lady you're watching? Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I love it. You can tell her I say hi. My niece watches these sometimes too. I don't remember if I've met your kids, Barney. Like, obviously, I've seen pictures and video of them, like, on Facebook, but I don't remember if we all met at a convention at any point. I don't remember if they were at Vermont Comic Con when I was there. Conventions are always such a blur. It's like you meet so many people, and sometimes you meet their kids and spouses, and you're just like, ah, and then you get home and you're like, wait, who even were all those people? Yeah, that guy with that stuff, whose name I don't remember, whose stuff I would maybe recognize if I saw it, but I don't remember the name of. Like, you just get so overstimulated. It's like, what even happened this past weekend? The one who plays Dustin, his name is Gayton. Oh, interesting. I did not realize that. Or rather, I think I knew that, but didn't remember it. Because there's like the other kid whose name is like Finn Wolfhard or something really unusual like that. That's cool. I like it though. My kids have unusual names. I am not at all about being like, so and so's name is weird or whatever. I had so many people give me flack for both of my kids' names, and I still get a lot of the like weird askance view, like glances of people being like, "What? It's what now? Am I pronouncing this right?" Even though, like, they're normal names, like not common names, but they're real names that have existed for thousands of years. They're just not super common anymore. His jaw's getting a little chiselly there. I'm going to soften that up a little bit. All right. Hello, Spud. Oh, I forgot it was Tuesday. Can relate. That is a mood. Can very much relate to forgetting which day of the week it is. I think it was last week. I was completely all week long. I was just like, what is even happening? What day is it? What is going on? Try not to drag my hand through it. All right. Get some more ink. That feels a little overloaded. We're gonna hone that down a little bit. That'll do it for that panel. Only just a couple of panels left. And then this page will finally be done with penciling and inking. It will still need to be colored eventually. Which we may or may not ever do on stream again. I did it like one time and it was fine, but I like doing the traditional stuff on the stream. As I've said many times before, I do digital because it is sometimes called for in a project or someone specifically requests it, or there's like a reason why it makes sense. Like in the case of coloring an entire comic, it makes sense because coloring an entire comic traditionally, like with paint, would take forever, even longer than it does to color digitally. But I am still primarily a traditional artist, and digital's not my favorite. Some more of that hair texture here. That being said, if people really, really want to see a digital coloring session again, just let me know. Leave like comments or whatever, and I will try to accommodate at some point. The thing with the art streams is that it's like, it's all work I need to get done anyway. So if there's a type of work that you guys are more interested in, then we can do that on the stream. Or if there's a type of work that you have questions about and want to learn more about, we can do that. It's all stuff I'm going to have to do one way or the other. I can either do it while talking to you guys, or I can do it alone and listening to podcasts. Those are my options. Phone's doing a boop boop. What do you want, phone? I'm busy. You have not seen my coloring stream. What do I use to color them in? So I use Photoshop, not because it is necessarily the best program for coloring comics. It is just the one that I have used the longest. So it is the one that I am most comfortable and familiar with. That's what I learned how to color comics on, and I've noodled around with some other programs, and I've just never found a good groove in them since I'm, again, not much of a digital artist. I'm primarily a traditional artist, so I stick with Photoshop primarily because that is what I'm most comfortable in, and that's where I know how to get the results that I want. by all accounts, from everything I've heard, the best digital, like according to other actual like artists who specialize in digital art, the best program and hardware combination for making digital art is Procreate on like an iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil. That's what everybody swears by as like the best way to do it, to create any kind of digital art. Um, I don't have anything like I don't own like any Apple products. I have a PC, and I learned how to do digital art in Photoshop like a million years ago, and so that's what I'm still using. I know a lot of people swear by Clip Studio Paint and really like that, and I noodled around with that one for a little while recently, and like it was fine, but a lot of the things that I normally do with Photoshop, it either could not replicate or it replicated in like a weird way that was very counterintuitive for me. And I was just like, I just don't have the time to, for the amount of digital art that I do, I don't have the time to totally relearn this program for the maybe slight benefit I would get out of it. But those are the programs that come probably the most highly rated from people that actually do like a primarily digital art. I just still use Photoshop. No, I'm not thrilled about having to do the Creative Cloud subscription based thing. Not a fan. Not my favorite thing. But as Jeremy said when we were figuring out what we were going to do for coloring workflow, because he does the flats for me with when it comes to Photoshop, it's the devil you know. It is in fact the devil I know. Recently switched from paper to an iPad Pro with pencil and Procreate. I was just going to use it to clean up images, and soon I was 100% using it. Have not been to the art store in 5 months. That's awesome. I'm glad that's working out for you. I don't like what this side of his hair is doing. Is that better? Slightly better. I'm not crazy about it, but I feel like the front needs to just be like a little bit longer. It doesn't look as long as it does in the other ones. Oops. And my tip is starting to split. Goodness. trying to get these. This is tricky when you have like this character in the front and the character right behind them and they're overlapping, and I'm trying to not get the lines to interfere with each other too much. Compete with each other too much and confuse what belongs to what, which part belongs to which figure. I just saw there's another comment. I will read that in just a second. It says, I've used most of those. I've actually been using Kitra. Oh, I've heard about Kitra. I know a couple of friends of mine have tried that and liked it a lot. For a traditional take from a digital program, Art Rage is fun. Huh. I'll have to try that out at some point. I forget who it was. One of my friends was using Kitra recently. I can't remember. It's going to bug me now that I can't remember who it was. Of course, I know like many of my friends are also artists or other types of creatives, so that's like doesn't narrow it down much to be like somebody that I know. A little bit of shadow under the shirt and jacket. All right. Is that it for that panel? We've only got one panel left. Just one panel left. We've got like 10 minutes. We'll see how close to being done with this one panel I can get in 10 minutes. I figured this. What I had left would probably take around an hour, and we're pretty close. Pretty close. So then next week we can finally work on something different. Oh, I got that brush way overloaded that time. Okay. But since we're in the last 10 minutes, it's time for me to do the things. I'm going to remind you, I'm Amanda Call. I'm working on a page from I Am the First, which is written by Jeremy Flagg, drawn by me. We are in the last 24 hours of our funding campaign on Kickstarter. So if you haven't yet, go check it out. I put a link in the description. If you are seeing this later, then it's probably over. Check it out just to be sure, but it's probably over. And you'll have to find us on your digital comic publishing platform of choice. When everything is released. But it's been going super great, and I'm amazed and also kind of nervous. I'm sure it'll be fine and we'll get it done, but it's just like, it's just overwhelming. It's a lot. It's crazy. All these people are like interested in this project and wanted to back it, give us money for it. I really appreciate it. I'm also just like kind of in awe and humbled. Just like, whoa. You will often see me on this stream working on my webcomic Age of Night. We'll probably go back to Age of Night pages next week and do that for a few weeks. I do have a YouTube channel. It's this one that you're watching, like right now. This one that you're watching is mine. This is my YouTube channel. You should subscribe to it. Tell your friends about it. Like this video. All of the YouTube things. Oh, his jaw got very wide there. Whoops. This is what I get for talking when I'm trying to ink a face. This is why I'm always quiet when I'm making faces, because then I do stuff like that. I have other videos on here too. We do the Tuesday night art stream just about every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Come on here and work on a comic page live and chat, answer questions, all that good stuff. But I also do like pre-recorded and edited videos that come up every other week or so. You can check those out. You can support me on Patreon if you are so inclined. Help me make a living as a comic artist. That's at patreon.com/ageofnight, spelled AGEOFNIGHT. I will put that in the description as well. It's not there yet, but I'll put it there once the stream is over. You can follow me on Twitter at Age of Night, spelled just the same, and on Instagram at Amanda Call Art. Age of Night also has a Facebook page if you want to follow that. It basically just lets you know when I've updated a comic, but so will all the other social medias. I think that's it. I think that's all the social medias. Tell your friends about the Kickstarter that's ending in like 18 hours. Ah! I'm gonna make this a backpack. How does Kickstarter? No, you can't use PayPal. You have to use a credit card of some type. I don't know why that drives me totally nuts as a user of Kickstarter. But yeah, if you choose how much you want to back the product for, and the project for, and depending on how much you decide to back for, you're entitled to different rewards, which, in this case obviously is copies of the comic. You can choose not to receive a reward and just support the project if you want to. All sorts of different options there. But you do need a credit card, and they charge you at the end, which in this case will be very soon. They don't charge you until the funding campaign's over, so you don't get a charge like right away. But the funding campaign will be ending tomorrow, so that's kind of irrelevant at this point. But yeah, they require a credit card. It's very annoying. Hey, Shade, I'm just wrapping up, unfortunately. But I appreciate you dropping in. I'm going to finish this backpack, and then I think that's going to do it. We're real close to being done with this, so I will finish it up after the stream ends, and I go get myself a drink of water, because I've been talking. You should probably go get yourself a drink of water, too. Just a good idea. All right. So cool. That's neat. Using Cash App to make money off comics. Huh. I have not ever tried anything like that. Are you just doing it like a donation system type thing? Or like people have to purchase to get comic files? Or how is that working? I find that interesting. All right. So, at the beginning of the hour, we had this page most of the way done. And now, after brush inking for an hour, I have pretty much all of the figures done. I just have a tiny bit of work to do on this panel, and then I've got to go back in with a nib pen to add the plaid pattern. But other than that, this page is done. Our campaign is almost done. Go check it out if you haven't yet. Thank you, everybody, so much for hanging out with me and leaving comments and questions. I really appreciate it. I will see you all next time. Bye.